Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going through all of my cabinets and drawers and pulling out a bunch of things that have been unused for way too long, and I just need to get them crafted and get them loved and out the door. Some of the things I'll be making for other people, other things I'll be making to help organize my space in my craft room, and other things I'll be making for my family. So I am just going through all my drawers. If you've seen my craft room tour, I keep it very organized, but the drawers are kind of getting a little full. And going into fall and winter season where I do so much crafting, I really just want to start this craft room with a fresh slate, and I really want to go through and focus on a lot of the blanks that have just been in my craft room for way too long, and I want to get those crafted with. Sometimes when I'm at the craft store, I instantly buy something with hopes that I'm going to use it right away, and then maybe a few months tick by, maybe 6 months tick by, or a year or 2 years tick by, and I still haven't used it. So I am mainly focusing on those items today that have just been sitting here collecting dust and are really, really waiting to be loved. I know we all have those items in our craft room that just keep sitting by and waiting for us to craft with them. So I hope this inspires you to take a look around your space and grab those items you kind of keep overlooking and get them on your craft table. I'm definitely going to be doing that in this video, and I'm going to be doing it with 20 different things. So I hope you enjoy this video. Be sure to give this a thumbs up. The main reason I'm doing this is obviously to simplify my craft space, but coming up after this video, we're going to really get into fall and then of course winter crafting. So I just really want this room to be really fresh, and I really want some of these drawers and cabinets to be emptying out so that I can empty my space and empty my mind and just have a fresh slate for getting inspired for all of the holidays that are coming up. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so team get it all done. I am so excited. So I am focusing, like I said, on getting all of those little blanks in my craft room crafted with and out the door. So whether it is to the kitchen, to the kiddos' closets, to a friend as gifts, whatever, I am going to get all of these things done because I want a nice fresh slate to go into fall and winter. I don't know about you, but fall and winter is where I craft a lot. I craft a lot all year round, but fall and winter I really like to have a fresh, clean palette going into it, and my craft room needs to be a fresh, clean palette. Okay, I purchased this a long time ago, intending to craft with it, and then it's just that story, right? Things get in the way, and still wanted to craft with it, but just kind of forgot. So I have this little mason jar pump. It is essentially an attachment. As a reminder, I'll place links to everything down below. But what you do is, this is what I bought, right? This is all that comes in this little pump set. And when I saw it, I thought this was so neat because I love mason jars. In fact, at our home, this is our drinkware. We have the large, this size, and then we have the little small ones, which we use as our juice glasses for the kids. But we love these. This is what we use to drink all of our drinks out of. So anyway, I am just in love with mason jars, and I thought I have to have a little mason jar pump. I love that they have little attachments like this. They have quite a few too, and this just isn't the only one. But I'm gonna grab my rubbing alcohol. I just made this little bottle and put rubbing alcohol in it. That way I can get this all set up. So real quick, what I'm gonna do before I get the attachment all ready to go, and I'm going to assemble this all for you. It's super easy, and this would make a really cute gift, right? I think this would be super fun. I just wanted something a little fun and fresh for just the kitchen area. You can do it anywhere though. Okay, putting it on my cup cradle because it's one of my favorite things that I have purchased. So worth it. And then I cut a little, you can't see it, it's white on white because I decided to use the Cricut Joy Smart Vinyl for this. The reason being is when you have a little bit more of a delicate design and a smaller design, I kind of feel like the Cricut Joy vinyl, or it's also called Smart Vinyl, it's a little thicker. It's just a little thicker, and I think that it weeds nice, and it just seems in its thickness like it would just hold up really well. I don't know this for a fact. It's just my personal experience with it. I really like to use it. Not to say that I wouldn't do this on just regular permanent vinyl. I would do that as well. Okay, I'm struggling with this transfer tape. pairing the smart vinyl with the smart transfer tape. You know, I like my own transfer tape that I have shown on my channel time and time again. I get it on Amazon, but when it comes to the smart vinyls, I really think that the smart transfer tape needs to be used with it. Again, the vinyl is just a tad thicker. It seems to me to be just a little bit different than regular traditional vinyl. So it makes sense that you would use the coordinating transfer tape. I just find that it works better. I kind of struggle if I don't use the Joy transfer tape with the Joy materials. And that's just personal preference. That's what I've noticed, so I stick with it. So I'm going to go ahead, and I find regular transfer tape to work great with everything else, but for some reason that smart material, it needs its smart transfer tape as well. Okay, so burnishing the front and the back. I'll place a link to this design. It's super cute. Now, I always feel the need with the Joy materials, like I said, I just spoke to its thickness. I feel the need to kind of help it along. Now, you can use the Joy materials on the larger machines. In fact, I cut this on my Explore 3. I have a video too on how you can use the larger machines with the smart materials. So sometimes it's kind of nice, right? Because the smart materials are a nice price. And if you're looking for a unique color and you're not really wanting a lot of it, then it's kind of a win-win. You get a nicer price and a smaller amount. And I don't know. I think they're nice materials to use too. Okay, I'm trying to get it off here though. Sometimes it can be a little bit finicky, but I do think it's worth it. Okay, there we go. And done. Okay, so these are really neat SVGs, and again, designs will be linked down below. And I love them because on the listing for this SVG, they are really big, and you can put them on the front of a front loader and a dryer, washing machine and dryer, and they're really neat. So I'll link the listing or the product so you can see it. It's really, really neat. And I've been tempted to do it to my washing machine and my dryer, but I just have not. So I was looking at this design and I thought, well, in the meantime, this would be super, super cute on this little soap pump. Okay, so I'm going to just align it where I'd like it. I loved the wreath. I loved the font. Of course, I don't have font information because this is an SVG, but I just thought it was pretty, pretty, pretty. So I'm gonna burnish that down. Very nice. Okay, and then I will peel this up and leave my vinyl right on my nice jar. Now, for a project like this, you'll want to find a jar that does not have the embossing on the side. Is that what I'm trying to say? Or you know how it has like the designs on the side, because you want it to be nice and flat so that you could have something to lay your vinyl on and something to decorate. So you'll want to make sure that you find one that is nice and flat. Oh, neat. I love that. I think that's so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to save this transfer tape, put it right back on the backer. That way I can reuse that. Okay, and then let's put this together. So super easy. We're obviously going to have, this is going to be for the lid. And then what we're going to do, I have to think this through. Okay, so this is going to go on here. And then this will go underneath and screw in. That way that little ledge is nice and attached. Okay, and then we have this that will go over. And finally screwing it right on. How cute. I literally have had this in my craft room for, I mean, probably a year or 2 years. And now I can finally enjoy it. I love it. So cute. And now I have some extra space in my craft room because I don't have this little packaging and attachment. Okay, one thing done and 19 more to go. Okay, bringing in some transfer tape. I cut this all down. I have a really long SVG or design that I'm going to be working with for this next project. Look how pretty this is. I have had this saved in my favorites forever, and I've also had the coordinating wood piece that I want to put it on in my craft room forever. And if you can imagine, based on the size of this design, how big it has been storing that wood piece waiting for the time to create this. So today's the day. We're going to get this off the favorites list and get that wood piece out of my craft room and as decor in our home. I just loved this, our perfect chaos. I just think it really, you know, it just describes it perfectly, right? Okay, so I am going to, with these larger ones, I like to expose about 1 inch to 2 inches instead of taking this entire backer off of this entire large piece of transfer tape. This is the transfer tape that I was just speaking to earlier, which I adore. It is amazing. So I'm going to place this right over just that 1 to 2 inches. And then on the back, I folded that little edge down because now I have a little lip, if you will, or handle to kind of pull. So I'm going to pull this, and as I pull, it will release the transfer tape and lay it right down on my SVG. So nice. Oop, I got that a little long. No worries. Trim that off and save it. Okay, trim that down. But it just makes it a little bit less intimidating when you can lay it down so fluidly like that instead of having such a long piece of sticky and then trying to manipulate that. That's just too much for me. Okay, so taking my scraper, I'm going to burnish the front and the back and get this nice and attached so I can peel off that cutting sheet. Okay, let's flip it over. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Now this is an indoor sign that I'm using. Indoor signs I use permanent or removable. It doesn't matter. It's not something that's going to get wet unless in our perfect chaos, you know, like a juice box gets all over it or something. But you know, it's totally fine to just use a removable as well. So I'm going to, let me bring in the sign, and I love this. Okay, so this is from Hobby Lobby. Truth be told, it is called an unfinished floating shelf, and it has the little brackets on the back to be a floating shelf. I don't use it as a floating shelf. I buy these all the time, and I just stand them up like this, and they are a nice sign. So it comes in bare wood just like this. I added 2 or 3 layers of my favorite chalk paint over the top, and then what I did was I sanded it, and I love that look. I love sanding and distressing the edges. I just think it's so pretty, and I like to just get it all shabby chiced up. I think it looks nice, and then it's all ready to go. Now I prefer to have my edges the bare wood. I like just the front to be painted. That's just personal preference. It's just a style thing, so you can definitely paint to your heart's content. Actually, I'm gonna go this way just because I'm right-handed, so it just kind of seems easier to me to do it that way. Okay, so I'm gonna take off my cutting sheet. And you can grab parchment paper and do the parchment paper method for this if you'd like. I have a whole video on how to do that. It just helps layering, or not, well, it does help layering, but it helps aligning vinyl without the risk of it laying down too quickly. But I am going to just wing it, and I think that looks great. Okay, there we go. Ooh, I love it. Oh, I'm so glad I'm finally doing this. Okay, lay that down. Lay that down. Get a nice, oops, I just got, you know, I have like a little bit of blue residue on my, I don't know if you can even see that. See that right there? Like right on the lip of it. It just got on my white paint. I might have to touch it up because it looks like it kind of transferred. So I'm gonna have to do a little touch-up paint, but that is okay. I always have that paint out. I'll link my favorite chalk paint down below. It's my absolute favorite for doing any type of painting of wood signs. And I'll just touch it up in a little bit. I just did it there too. It might be time for a new scraper. Seems like I have something on it. But before that, a little Dawn dish soap, and I'll see if I can get that off of my scraper. Okay, there it is. Long awaited. I love it. So pretty. Okay, it's ready to be placed in the house. Oh my goodness, I love that. I'm going to place this to the side. I'm not sure if I'm going to reuse that yet. Sometimes when you go over paint, I don't know if you can see that, it leaves like a film where, well, yeah, you really can see that, can't you? Leaves a film, and that's just because I had sanded that paint right before doing this, so that little film kind of transfers over to the transfer tape, but that is super pretty. I love it. And so I sand for a few reasons. Number one, because I like the distressed look. Number two, it hides the paint strokes really well because I like to paint really, really fast, and so sometimes you can see my paint strokes, but it doesn't matter because I know I'm going to follow it up with a nice sanding. And I just use a, what is it? I don't even know. I just go into my husband's workshop, and it's an electric sander, and it just works like butter. So it gives it a nice smooth finish so that you have a nice smooth canvas to lay the vinyl down. That way your vinyl lays nice and flat. You don't have any lumpy lumps underneath. I just think it's so pretty. Okay, so that's done. I might actually paint this part too. In fact, I might just bring my little paint out. Knowing myself, I will just put this aside and say I'll paint it, and then it's just on my to-do list, and why not just finish it right now? That is what today is about. It's just about finishing all the things and not adding more to the to-do list. Okay, that looks good. And that will dry and just blend right in. And then I got a little heavy-handed on my sanding here, and I like that look, but I only have it in one spot, so it doesn't look like it belongs. Because it honestly didn't. I kind of just went a little crazy there. So I'm going to touch that up. Now I'm going to set these to the side. They may need just one other coat, and then I may just sand that down just to smooth it out. But other than that, I'm calling that good. Oh, I like it. Okay, let's move on to the next project. I think because I'm doing wood signs, I'm going to do one more. I have quite a few to do tonight. But let me go ahead and do one more, and then we'll move on to the next project. My heat press is ready to go for lots of apparel. Okay, same thing. I don't know where I found this. This has been in my craft room for too long. It may have been Michael's or Joann's. I'm not honestly quite sure, but I added the layer of chalk paint. I did do all sides on this one, and I'm not sure why. I started painting this last fall because I was going to do a project with it, and then I didn't, so I have it ready to go, but I did a nice sand, and it still looks, I mean, it looks beautiful. So here's an example of all the sides painted. It's really just personal preference. I am going to put this really pretty Bless This Mess, and I want to see if I can reuse this transfer tape. It is just, what if I do it this way? I was going to say it's just not quite big enough, but I am not intimidated by a little bit of vinyl hanging off the side, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to reuse what I can, and I have before made a sign saying Bless This Mess on my channel before, and I just love that phrase, so when I see it done differently on an SVG, I like to make it again because it's so pretty. Okay, so noting the side, I actually have another scraper. I might have to set this to the side because I don't want it to do anything to any more projects. Mama does not have time to repaint today. It's all about crossing things off. So let me know in the comments, what is something that has been sitting in your craft room for so long? And it could be because you bought it and then now you're scratching your head thinking, I have no idea what to do with this. Or it could be because you haven't had the time, or you are not inspired with it. Sometimes that happens too, where, and I do that. I have like, I get to the craft store and then everything just is flying in the cart, and then I come home with great intentions, but sometimes I think, now what am I going to do with that? And then I find that I'm not very inspired with it right away. It always comes around, but you know, sometimes that is why things sit for a while, right? Because we're not necessarily inspired with it right away. It's one of those things where you see the potential in something, right? And but then it kind of have to wait on it for a bit. So I'm curious, what is in your craft room? It could be a sweatshirt, or it could be a roll of patterned vinyl, which you're just not quite sure what to do with. That is also half of tonight's crafting, is using a lot of the vinyl and HTV that I have, and that I have had and haven't cut into yet, because it's just time. If you've seen my craft room tour, you know I have a real love for it, and I also have a good organization for it, so it makes it easy to pick out what I want and craft with it. But sometimes certain rules just sit there and I think I really need to use that. Okay. Oh my goodness, that was a labor of love, but we got there. We got there. Again, parchment paper method is wonderful if you'd like to do that at this point. I am going to, famous last words, I'm going to wing it. And I think that looks great. There we go. Ooh, I like that. Okay. I love this. And I'll link all the designs down below in case you want to get any of them and be inspired. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. I love the gray on the white. I just love it. It's so pretty. The contrast is there. And then with the nice distressed edges, this is just screaming Beth Italy. I love it so much. Okay, is that 3 down? 3 down, 17 to go? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's start doing some, well, let me see what's in my pile. Okay, in my pile is a pile of shirts and dresses, things I need to get done for the kiddos because A, they're taking up a room in my craft space. B, the kiddos are growing out of these sizes. I have spoken to this before. I do shop sales for blanks that I want to craft with. I shop quite a bit of sales, and sometimes maybe I pick up a couple too many thinking I'm going to do it, and then all of a sudden, and as you know, kids just grow so quickly. So sometimes you just end up needing to craft because the kiddos aren't going to fit in them much longer. So that's kind of half of what I'm doing here. I'm seeing some of these sizes and panicking, thinking, ooh, I need to get these in the closets. Okay, so I picked out a variety of patterned iron-on from my stash, and you could definitely do this with blanks. I made the little monogram in the monogram builder in Design Space. I'm finding that to be super handy. And then what I did was, because when you use the monogram builder, it ends up being all in one layer. So this is all together. So what I did was I just, what did I end up slicing it out? Or I think I contoured them out so that I could have 3 separate layers, so I could place them on 3 separate pieces of patterned iron-on. So if you need help learning how to contour, I have videos on that. Just go to my Beth Italy YouTube, just type in contour and a video will pop up. But I thought it'd be cute to do a little monogrammed dress. She's going to love this. So I am going to just start weeding away, and I'm going to keep things in their piles because I want to make sure that I don't misalign what's going where, because I took a lot of time. It probably took me about a week to prep this video. And if I am correct in my assumption, I think it'll probably take me 2 days to film this, or 2 evenings to film this. So I say all that because a lot of time was in just this part of figuring out what I wanted to do in terms of design and patterns for all of these shirts and dresses. I just thought it would be super fun to kind of get creative and mix it up. And I think kid apparel is so fun because you can just have so much fun with it. You can have fun in terms of the patterns you use, but also like the designs you use as well. I just think they're so fun. So this is also another dress, and then I think that's it. I think everything else ends up being a shirt. But look at this cute SVG. I thought this was so cute. And then I did it on a pale pink because I thought that would look so nice. Okay, making sure I have all of my little pieces. Make sure you have every little piece of iron-on off of your project so it doesn't... There we go. How cute. Oh, and I love that it's... My tendency is always to do white, but I did a pale pink, and I just think that is so cute. I think that's going to be really fun. Okay, I'm going to get weeding and organizing, and then we're going to press these onto all of the shirts. Okay, all done. And I just love how everything turned out. I was kind of holding my breath because I was really taking so much time to figure out which patterns I wanted with which shirts and which designs, and I really like how everything turned out. So I am going to now put them in categories. So first, before I have any, I'm gonna get this, there we go. I don't want any little pieces on my projects. So let's keep it organized. I'm going to put them in categories. So I have solid iron-on, I have glitter. I think I only have one glitter. I have solid, because these are all going to take different temperatures, so then I can set my heat press accordingly. Pattern, pattern, solid, pattern, and glitter. Okay, so I'm going to start with all of the solids. I'm going to zip right through these. You will see what I'm going to do is I'm going to preheat the shirt. I'm going to lint roll the shirt, and preheating just takes all the moisture out. It also straightens it up a little bit so it's ready to receive the iron-on. Takes any moisture out just in case there's any moisture locked into the fibers. So that way it's nice and dry and ready to have a successful transfer. And then what I'll do is lint roll it to make sure there's no barriers on there that will affect and prevent it from laying down really nicely. and then I will iron them on. Now, what I do is I iron it on, I will peel the sheet off once it's cooled, and then I like to put the sheet back on and give it just a little additional time. I've spoken to this a lot on my channel. It's a method that I really like to do, but go ahead and just approach this any way you'd like. And let's go ahead and get all of these busted out. Oh my gosh, these turned out so good. I'm so happy with how everything looks. I think this is my favorite. I love how the patterns just look with that mint color. I wanted to talk through a few things on each shirt. Now, when I went to do the patterned iron on, the sticky or the carrier sheet that is on, that it's cut on, that clear sheet that's over it, it's not sticky. So that's why you saw me bring out the heat tape. Now, if you want to use any type of tape to secure your iron on and your liner, make sure it's a heat tape. That way it is safe to use with your heat source. So I went ahead and did that. Now for this one, I ended up choosing this pattern first, and then I pulled colors out of that. So then I pulled the green and then I pulled the pink. So that's kind of how I went with designing that. I am so happy with this. It's so sweet. I love it. I really love how the kitty cat turned out. I think that's so cute, and I really think that the subtle pink really makes all the difference. A white would be beautiful, but I really like the softness of the little baby pink for the iron-on. And then I absolutely love a navy, especially paired with a pink, and I thought this was just so cute. Plus, I really, really love this SVG. It's so sweet. I'll be linking all of the SVGs that I used for these shirts down below. And then this one turned out so cute. This is the one I was really, really trying to figure out what I wanted to do in terms of pattern, and I think this is adorable. I love the variation. It's so fun. And this is one of the favorites around here. We love saying chicken nugs and mama hugs. And I saw this SVG and thought this just has to happen. We started saying it after I had seen this saying around, and then I saw how cute that was. And it just had to happen. It had to be a shirt. I loved this Be Fearless. I have used this on my channel before. I was really contemplating what to do on such a fun background shirt, and I really thought this navy glitter iron-on was just gorgeous, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think that when you're given a shirt like this, you're kind of nervous on if the object that you're going to put on top of it, or the design you're going to put on top of it, is going to get too lost. But I think with the contrasting dark navy, which still really pairs really, really well, navy always goes good with a pink and a mint. And so I thought this just looked really, really nice, and I think it definitely pops on the shirt. I've used this SVG before on my channel. I love it. I made a coffee mug out of it before, and I just had to come right back to it and make a shirt because it's so sweet. This one I thought was going to give me a little bit of trouble, but all I needed to do was just wait and cool down that iron-on just a little bit more before I peeled it up. Now what you saw was after I did take it off of my heat press, I did set it on the counter. What I was doing there was just speeding up the cooling down process. If you set it onto a cool surface and you take it off of the heat press, it helps just to speed up all of that cooling so that you can keep going. And as you see, I have so many things to do, so I wanted to just speed that part up. But I love how this turned out. I had a little whoopsie up here just because it kind of, when I was pulling, it kind of got a little bit wonky up there, but you know what? It's so perfect, especially for a toddler shirt. They're going to love it. And I love this design. Now, this design also has the inverse as well, where there is an let's see, all of the little vines, hearts, and flowers are all hollow, but you know what? I just did not want to do that much weeding. You'll see when I link it. So I chose this one because all I had to do was just weed that inner side, and then everything just took shape after that. But there is an inverse of this too if you wanted to do the exact opposite for a different look. I really loved the pink on pink though. I thought that was cute. And then finally, I really liked this as well. I didn't quite know what I wanted to do on a striped shirt, but I really love a pattern with a stripe. I thought that was really fun. So I ended up doing a really fun pattern iron-on that I've had sitting in my craft room. So win-win, got all of these shirts done, and I also got to play around with some of the iron-on that's been sitting and sitting and sitting in this craft room. I feel super gratified right now, and I'm super proud that I'm going to be filling some closets with some really sweet new pieces for back to school. So loving these. I hope you loved this as well. I'm going to make myself a sweatshirt a little later on in this video, but let's go ahead and do a couple adhesive vinyl crafts, and let's see what else I have going on. Okay, I purchased this really fun wooden rainbow from Target quite a while ago, but they may still have them because I feel like I see them time and time again when I go visit and browse the aisles. And originally what I wanted to do, now it came in bare wood, and what I did was I added I think 3 layers of that chalk paint to the top because I really wanted the arches to really stand out. Now you could paint all of this. This was just the look that I was going for. Originally I bought this, and what I was going to do was I was going to attach those diamond dots to it, and I thought that would be really, really pretty. But looking at how tiny those little gems are and the amount of time it was going to take, that is why I was realizing that the reason I wasn't using this and crafting with this is because I felt like the project idea I had was just too time intensive and too intimidating for this season. I just could not see myself sitting down that long to dedicate to a little piece of art like this. Now, this is going to go in my daughter's room. So instead, I wanted to really have fun with color on here. So instead of doing the gems, I decided just to cut out some little circles on adhesive vinyl, and I'm just going to place them around this little rainbow. And honestly, I think that's going to be just as sweet, but a lot quicker. So I found 3 pieces in my scrap bin. So this is all just a huge win. I'm finally using this blank, but I'm also using scrap pieces of vinyl that need to be used. And I am just going to go ahead, and I'm probably going to turn on some relaxing music because I think that this is going to take me a little bit of time. But what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to use tweezers. Let me find my tweezers. Let's see, here they are. And I am going to peel. Now you could use transfer tape, but honestly, I think that's just way too much work for something like this. And I'm just going to kind of peel this away, grab one, and then I'm going to stick it down. And I'm hoping that by the time I reach the other end, that it ends up, you know, even on this side, but time will tell. And as long as we're having fun, I think it's going to be just fine. So all I did was go into Cricut Design Space, got some circles, and I think I ended up cutting out 60 of them a piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I know those have 10 in each row. So yes, 60 circles. I know that I will definitely have extra, but I didn't want to have not enough. So, oh my gosh, this is going to take me forever, isn't it? Oh, it's going to be a labor of love, but you know what? I think, you know, I may even just use, no, well, we'll see. You know, I'm going to start off with the tweezers and we'll see if I end up just sticking them down with my fingers, but they are just so small that I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm not going to be able to do that with just my fingers, I don't think. I could try. Let's try. See if that's any. I really like the tweezers. Also because I feel like when you use your fingers, sometimes there's just so much right here and you can't really see. But when you have the tweezers, look how well you can see. And I love that. So I'm going to go ahead and use the tweezers. I know this is probably going to take me a little bit of time, but you know, I have someone who's really going to fall in love with this. And I need it out of my craft room. That's what this is about, right? Getting this stuff out of my craft room and into the hands of someone who's going to love it and make room for all the fun things that are going to come this fall. And trust me, there are so many fun things coming this fall. I can't even wait. I cannot even wait. I'm not one to wish time away, but I am thinking fall needs to hurry up and get here because fall crafting is going to be so good. So good. I already have all the piles. I have everything laid out, and that's why I need to make room for all the crafting that's going to happen. Whoops. Okay, I am loving how this turned out. And you know what? The fact that I'm going to have this out of my craft room and finally loved is so exciting because every time I opened one of my cabinets that has all of my blanks in it, it was just sitting there looking at me like, remember me? Remember you were so excited when you tossed me into the cart? And you know what also I'm thinking? I'm thinking, man, I really want to go get another one so that I can make one of these for my craft room. But no, Bethany, you will not, because it will be 2030 by the time you end up crafting with it if I am going at any rate. It's so cute. Okay, so is the spacing all even? No, it's not. I definitely kind of have some closer than the others, but you know what? It's perfect to me. I think it turned out really, really cute, and I love it. She's going to love it. It's just fun. So if you see something like this, I hope you're inspired that sometimes you look at things and kind of wonder, what am I going to do with that? But I really want it. See, that's my thing too. Sometimes I grab it and think I will worry about what I'm going to be inspired with later. And sometimes my inspiration just has to change either because of time or in the meantime, maybe I'm inspired in a different way. But I hope that this kind of gives you an idea of just some fun things that you could do with interesting shaped blanks. And Target has a lot of shapes like this that are really fun. So I think honestly, putting a fun colored dot vinyl on them, I think that's a really fun way to bring them to life. It'll probably have me looking at shaped blanks just a little bit differently now, knowing that you could really make them colorful in different and fun ways. Okay, this is finally done. I can't tell you how gratifying that was for me to not only get that done, but to see it completed and know it's going to be so loved. Okay, let's move on to the next project. I think so that I can turn my heat press off, I'm going to do this fun sweatshirt. Now, I really want to do this sweatshirt because I want something fun and cozy to wear, especially going into fall, but also because I have had this SVG on my heart for so long, and I really, really wanted to use it and make something for myself with it. So I'm using this really, really fun patterned iron-on that I've also had in my stash. Are you seeing a theme here? I've had this in my stash for quite a while, and sometimes with patterned iron-on, it's kind of hard to get inspired with it because you're not quite sure what to do, right? And for me, one thing I love to do with pattern iron-on is I like to make shapes with it because I think it's a really fun way to showcase the pattern. But sometimes it leaves you kind of wondering what to do. Well, I thought that this was a really fun SVG, and I also thought that the pattern just looked beautiful with this bright pink. And I'm hoping that it turns out as well as I am envisioning it. Okay, now I also have to take off some tape because I don't want any oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It's so good. I love it. I love it. Now, you know what I want to do is I want to do more things with this pattern. This would be so pretty on navy. Oh, honest moment. I'm taking this tape off because I like to do my iron-on and adhesive vinyl storage in rolls. And when I started off doing just regular Scotch tape. Don't do that. It's awful to get off and it leaves a residue. So use a washi tape or a really, really low tack tape. I cannot even tell you how happy I am right now. This is going to be my most used and worn and loved and everything. I'm going to wear this all the time. I love this and I love the message. I love it so much. Okay, let's go ahead. Calm down, Bethany. They get it. You are in love with this creation. Oh, so cute. Okay, let's go ahead and get this pressed on. Same as last time. Oh my goodness, it's just perfection. I love it so much. Now, don't get nervous about, do you see how there's like discoloration where the actual box or pressing field was? That does fade back, so don't worry. The first time it happened to me, I kind of got nervous too, but it does fade back. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I love this so much. Number one craft. It may be the best I've done in 2022. I'm willing to say it may be my favorite of 2022. That is just so cute. It looks like something that I would see in a store and just have to buy. I'm in love. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next craft. I might behind the scenes change into this because it's just so stinking cute. But okay, let's get going on the next one. I've lost count of where we're at. But it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm thinking we're halfway through. Are we? Maybe so. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I've had this notebook. Isn't it gorgeous? I think it is so pretty, and it has a little gold foil light bulb on the front, and I instantly saw it and needed it. So, you know I have a thing for notebooks. I actually got this. See, there's a story here. 2020. I actually got this in 2020. It was the first time my hubby and I had gone out in a while because obviously 2020 was the beginning of the pandemic. And finally, one day we decided that we were going to go on a date because I think it was about 4 or 5 months in. And we decided that it was just time to safely go out and have a breather, right? So we went to lunch and he took me to the craft stores. It was amazing. It was so fun. But on that day, we went and saw Pier 1 was closing, and they were having a big closeout sale, if you will. So this is where I got that. So I won't be linking this. Well, I'll try to find it. It looks like it's probably just another brand, but that's where I got it. And so it's always, whenever I see it in my craft room, which also is a testament to how long it's been there. So it's been there for exactly 2 years, because I think it was the summertime. Yes, because I think it was like 4 or 5 months into you know, shut down and all of that. But, oh, cute. I really want to try. Well, anyway, what I was trying to say is that it always kind of holds a special place in my heart, because I remember I was so nervous to be out and about. I just was so nervous. Still am sometimes. But I had a great time. And this is one of the fun things that I picked up, and I just thought was so cute. So I'm going to try and put some foil iron on. Now, I've never done this before, but I'm going to give it a try. I have my Easy Press Mini here, and I set it to low. And I'm also going to get a piece of parchment paper really quick. Okay, so I have my parchment paper. What I'm going to do really quick is just kind of preheat just for a couple seconds. Okay, that's nice. Same reason as with the shirts, right? Make sure that all of this is picked up and away. Same reason as the shirts. Should I lint roll it? I mean, just to say I did. Okay. And put you away. Whoops, you don't go there. You do. And I like how it's kind of tucked right there. And I'm hoping it kind of matches. The thing with the foil iron on is once you take the carrier liner off, man, does it shine. I need to get that a little straighter though. And I think that looks good. Does that look good? Let me get one of my new favorite things ever for lining up. I think that looks good. I'm gonna do it. Okay, so place this on. Now, I'm just nervous because I don't know really what this is. I mean, I know it's like a linen, but inside. So always just kind of monitor, be careful, I guess. And I'm just gonna kind of, I think it said 25 seconds. And I'm just gonna rotate now. I'll speak to it. I speak to it all the time when I bring out the Easy Press Mini, but just in case you're brand new, because I do get asked, why are you moving it around? Well, this actually was intended, unlike the other presses, the Easy Press Mini was intended to be moved. So it does say in the directions to do, you know, circular motions or some movement as it's pressing. I'm losing count here, but I'm just being careful. In fact, I'm being careful that I just kind of keep monitoring it. My goal is to kind of do 25 seconds, but I'm going to kind of every 5 seconds or so just kind of check it. Also checking the inside. It looks good. Okay. You know me, you can't have too many notebooks or coffee mugs. I should make a shirt about something like that for myself. Okay, I'm going to let this cool. It's looking good. It looks like it's laying down. I'm gonna let this cool, and then I'm gonna attempt to peel that up and just see, kind of check on it, and if not, I'll do some more heat. Okay, I'm gonna try. That is perfect. And it's kind of warm. You're supposed to wait till it's cool, but I just couldn't. It's warm, so I waited a little bit, but that looks so cute. And it looks like it's always been there. I love it. I'm glad that this is finally done. Okay, 2 years in my craft room. Time to put it to work. I have lots of things for this. Although, you know, I've been making a lot of these, and you've seen on my channel. Oh, look at that. You've seen on my channel that I do this quite often. I like to decorate notebooks to have fun with. But that is just so cute. So this will probably be next year by the time I get around to it. But I am so happy it's now crafted and ready to use. Now it can go in a different pile. It's not a pile of things I must do, but now things I can use. So there's a difference there, right? There's a difference. Okay, while the Easy Press Mini is out, let me grab another project that I have for the Mini. Okay, so I've done these on my channel before. They are bag tags, and I did some for my girls. Well, before I knew I was having a third baby, I always prayed that I was going to have a third baby. So I, for a very long time, always bought things in threes, even when I had just one child or two children, just because it was on my heart to have three. And I am just the person that wants everything to match. I know. So anyway, I've had this little luggage tag for the little duffel bags, and so I made the girls theirs last year, and now little man needs his. So also I wanted to say this heat mat, or this craft mat, is heat resistant, so that's why you see me kind of not too worried about putting heat on it. Okay, so I'm going to preheat, and then I think I need to cool this off to low. So when you turn this on, so I had it on medium, right? And it's green because it's all ready to go. But I want it on low. So that's just one little wavy mark to indicate low. I'm going to do low. And I just looked up on the heat guide what this iron-on faux leather would be, and it said low, so I'm going to go with that. And there we go. A cute little monogrammed luggage tag. I put these on their duffel bags and it looks so cute. Is there something on that liner, or is it on the tag? Let me just double check. Oh, it's the liner, and it's pink. We do not want that permanently on there. Okay. Oh, I like that. It's so cute. Okay, so I'm going to, are you ready? Nope. Oh man. I'm ready to go and I have to wait. Ugh. In a whole different topic. Does crafting make your hands just so dry? It makes my hands so dry. My mama bought me a lot of these little Mary Kay hand creams, and I love the size because I can just bring them down to my craft room or just keep them in my nightstand. But oh my gosh, they smell like heaven. But you know what? It was just time for a little nice moisturization. Okay, I can also prep my next project, which is going to be the Easy Press Mini as well. And that's going to be a fun little pencil zipper tote. I really am excited about that. Okay, come on, little guy. We've got things to get done. I might get this all done in one recording. I just might. Okay. Okay, there we go. I am going to go ahead because now it is green. And let's see. I wrote down 30 seconds. And, you know, most of this iron covers the design, so it'll be done in no time. But simple movements, I just like to rotate it really nice. Okay, I'm gonna let this cool. Looks good. Okay, I'm gonna let that cool, and then we'll peel that off. And then I'm trying to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more after this. I think that's right. But I'll double check my list. Nope, I have 6. I have 6 more. 6 more things. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Go ahead and peel. Again, it's actually pretty warm still, but that laid down beautifully. Oh, I love that. I shouldn't be so surprised. I've made these before, but that just looks so good. Okay, that's done. Now I'm going to go ahead and do all of the crafts that I need to do with this press just to keep everything organized. So I'm going to do a couple more iron-ons, and then we'll switch back to adhesive vinyl right at the end. Okay, so I've had this, and in fact, I've made one of these before on my channel. And they're a little picture frame. I got them from Michael's, and I bought 2 at the time. And in fact, one of the very first tutorials I ever did was making one of these, and it was like verse of the day or something like that, where I would clip on certain Bible verses. It was really, really pretty. I love it. So I picked up 2 at the time. That was 2+ years ago. And again, the second one is still in my craft room. Well, recently during one of my lives, I made one of my kiddos a really pretty picture frame and framed a picture of us in it together, and she loved it. And my other one definitely needs one as well. So her favorite color is blue, and I thought this little clip frame was just a perfect idea for it. So I'm going to weed out. Oh, and font information will be down below. This is the same font that I used for the notebook. Oh, I love that. And that was a fun patterned iron-on too. It was kind of a really fun one, which I really like with lettering because it just kind of gives it a little variation. Okay, I'm going to preheat the little wood there. We're just going to iron that right on. Okay, that looks good. And now, because, again, Cricut's pattern iron-on does not have a sticky sheet, so it's a little tricky. I'm going to bring that up just a little bit. I think that looks nice. Because I don't want the Y to be falling off, I'm going to kind of center it so that the top of the L and the bottom of this Y have equal distance. And then obviously from left to right. But I think that looks good. Okay, call that my final answer. I'm going to tape that so it doesn't shift. Come on, there we go. Okay, I like it. I'm going to go ahead and iron that on. Okay, so this would be a really good, and when I have longer things like this, I like to focus on one area at a time. So I'm going to do the first half and then I'll do the second half just so I know in my heart that everything got equal heat. Okay, so this would make a really good gift. Customizing picture frames, always a good idea. I love that. I think I've done that a time or two on my channel as well as doing a custom wallet with doing iron-on inside with a little message. That was fun too. I can't wait for Christmas time. I'm trying to think, what is everybody doing for Christmas in terms of gift giving? I have written down a lot of stuff. And let's see, how's that doing? I think it's doing okay. I might be pressing a little too hard, so I need to maybe do less pressure. Okay, I've written down a list, kind of where I want to take this holiday season in terms of crafting and gift giving, so we'll see. Okay, I think that's probably good, and I'm sure I'm supposed to wait, but it's down. It looks great. If you need a longer tutorial on doing iron-on on wood, I'll link one for you, but I think that looks really great. I think I pressed a little too hard here because you can see the iron-on kind of just wanted to smush a little bit, but you know what? It looks great. I love it. Okay, so I will probably focus on doing more of a square photo. Now, this obviously is not my photo, but I'm thinking, that's not straight at all, Bethany. I'm thinking a square photo will look just tender. Oh, love that. I think that is so fun. I really love it. And you can personalize it to say anything. You know, if you are doing it for a specific person, you could put their name, anything like that. I love that. Super, super fun. Okay, so that is done. Let's do one more iron-on one, and I'm going to grab my heat pad for this next one. Okay, so I'm bringing my heat pad in because I'm going to do this kind of cotton pouch, if you will. And I do like the fact that the heat pad brings heat back up into the garment. I think that that's really helpful too. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, I purchased this. I shared this in one of my hauls. I found this at Hobby Lobby. It was an iron-on glitter sheet, and I just loved it. So I want to speak to a couple things that I found when using it. So this is the first time I've used it, and I cut out a heart, and I kind of made it so that the heart would be exactly where I wanted it on in terms of rainbow. I really wanted it to be rainbow order with a little purple at the top. I thought that was pretty going down, so I just kind of arranged it there. One thing I noticed though is that this doesn't have any type of carrier sheet on the front, so that is the iron-on right there. So originally I wanted to say like be creative or get creative on this nice linen pouch, but I didn't want to have to place all of those letters individually because this is the piece. There's no lining. Do you remember? Well, for lack of course, this isn't going to be the same size, but usually iron-on has like a lining on the top so that it cuts and then everything stays in its spot, and then you just lay it all down. You don't have to do any placement. But anyway, I had to kind of pivot my idea because I didn't want to have all these pieces. Now, it's not impossible, but I kind of wanted to be gentle on myself. So I'm making this because we are in the season of on the go now and doing all the activities all the time. I'm going to put that at medium, I think. So the directions say, set and iron to a cotton setting. And then it says, it just says on a cotton setting. Hot, dry iron. So I'm going to try medium just to be safe. I'm going to preheat. And then I'm going to lay that down. Actually, I'm going to do my lint roll. Okay, we're in the season of on the go all the time. So that also means that there's a lot of activities and waiting. And so I thought it'd be nice to have a little bag of crayons and a coloring book for the kiddos who are waiting for another kiddo to finish their oops, where's my thing? Their activity. Thought that might make the waiting a little bit easier. So it's just always nice to have. Also, I'm going to shift this down. Okay, I'm going to go for, I think it said 30 to 40 seconds, and it says apply some pressure. So I'm going to try that, and I'm going to try doing this kind of like a traditional iron and see. Okay. It's always nice to have a bag of crayons, right? Anywhere you go. I'm just checking that to see. I could have done this on my heat press, I'm sure, but I thought it was a perfect idea for the mini. Ooh, it is laying down. Okay, just kind of testing it. Now it's thick. It's really thick. So it kind of sits up off the garment a little bit, but I think it's so cute. I didn't really, oh, it's center. Okay, I was gonna say, I didn't really check that at all. Goodness. Okay, I think I did a good job. Always monitor your heat. Keep checking if you're unsure. I think that looks really great. It also says to iron it from the back, which I'll do. But that looks good. Okay. And I think I lost count. Oh, that's on there. Okay, I think it looks good. I'm going to do the back, and I think the back said 20 to 30 seconds. And let cool. Very neat. Okay, I love this. So yeah, again, I saw that at Hobby Lobby, and I really liked the rainbow and the glitter rainbow. I just thought that was way too cool. Something right up our alley. Okay. And just for good measure, I'm just going to do the front, just spot it a little bit, but I think we're good to go. That's on there. That looks good. Now it is thick. It is thick, but So it kind of like lays up off of the surface, you see? Not too bad, but it's raised. But I kind of like that. That's fun. Okay, another thing done, and I think that looks super, super cute. So let's do, is that it for the iron? I think you can be turned off and put away, sir. I think so. I think we're back to adhesive vinyl and finishing up the last few things. Okay, final 4 things. It's getting messy around here, but I also like that. Okay, I have this new mug because, I don't know, it's back to school time and it seemed appropriate for mommy to get the new coffee mug because I'm on the go now, right? And so I'm going to, I want it this way. I want there's a little logo here. I want my design to be opposite of that just because I don't want a logo where my design is. I think that would be too much. So I've had this patterned adhesive vinyl in my craft room for way too long. Say it with me. I think that's the theme of this video. I've said that over and over again, but I'm finally going to use it. And I thought that this was really kind of fun. You know, we're doing a monogram. We just have to. I can't sip coffee out of something that doesn't have a monogram. I don't think the coffee would taste as good. So we're going to do a little monogram. Oh, that stripe is so cute. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, the overexcitement over the little things. It really is the little things. I'm going to see about, let me get some transfer tape. Okay, and then also the rubbing alcohol. Boop, boop. And getting that all nice. Now, the thing I like about this is that it's a realistic size for me because I have a larger Yeti. This is not a Yeti, but I have a larger Yeti. And my goodness, I mean, it's a very rare occasion when mama gets to drink all of that. So having this smaller one, I've been drinking out of this, unmonogrammed, gasp, and I'm actually finishing my coffee. It's like the exact, it's 12 ounces. It's the exact size. It's so appropriate. And I love it. So I'm going to clean, scrape, and front and back. I don't know that I need to do any relief cuts. It's not that curvy of an object, but famous last words. Let's try. Okay, I like that. Oh yeah, no relief cuts. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Lay that down. This would look good with an offset as well. Like a white offset. Ooh, that would be pretty. That would be so pretty. Okay, reinforce with a little scrape. Love that. I'll link this vinyl down below. I've had it for a long time. But I'm pretty sure they still have it. Ooh, I like that. I think that is super cute. Super fun. Love it. Okay, let's do... Should we do another sign? And then I have to do some labels for my craft room. Okay, let's bring in... I found this SVG and I just needed to have it in my home. I loved it. So I'm going to try to reuse some of this transfer tape. I think, is this the 3rd time that I've used this? This may be the 3rd time. This is probably going to be the last time for this. And I'm probably going to have to toss it. Oops, sorry for the camera shake there. Getting a little firm with that burnishing. Okay, front and back. Anyway, I loved this so much. It says, don't let yesterday take up too much of today. And I just thought that was so beautiful and so true and a good reminder, right? So I'm going to trim that down as much as I can. And I do this now because it's so much easier to trim now than it is when you have just transfer tape. That just is a sticky mess. But the less I have, the easier it is for centering. Now, this blank, I got this on that date day with my hubby, and don't mind this mess here. I cannot believe, but I'm going to do it this way because then nobody ever sees the top, right? It happens to the best of us. So they were on sale, right? I know you're thinking, Bethany, what the heck? But they have little shapes on the back. They were on sale for, I think, less than $1 at Michael's when we went on our little date. And I thought, who cares about the back? At least for my house. I don't care about the back. I don't care about the back at all. Now, I probably, like, I don't sell anything. So, I mean, if you were a seller, obviously you wouldn't. But, you know, if you're just making something for your house, you can't pass up a good deal like that. Okay, I'm going to take all of this backer off. Yeah, I think I'm losing some stick on my transfer tape here. But it held up. I think it's because the first one I did had that kind of paint on it. Oops. But no worries. Okay. Hard for you to see there. Gotta just do surgery on a couple places, but I think, yeah, this transfer tape definitely did its job. Okay, so I'm gonna set it on my surface like this. Again, I did paint it. And let's see if I can, ooh, I'm getting a little, oh, there we go. I was gonna say I was getting a little nervous. That looks good. I did go with a very light gray for this one. I thought that was really pretty. Just nice and soft. Again, you can always choose the colors that fit your home the best, or fit your personality best, or fit your project the best, but I love a light gray on a white with a surrounding, ooh, that's so pretty, a surrounding natural wood. I think that's just so pretty. What do you think? I think that is too pretty. Okay, so let me do a couple more, and then I'm done. Okay, I've actually used this before in my craft space. I had a little camera in it, and we crafted it together, and I used to keep my little memory cards in it when I was filming with cameras that did memory cards, but now I film a little bit differently, so I don't use memory cards any longer, and did not need this little tray for that, but I thought it'd be still cute to have in my craft room for other things. So what I'm going to do is, I thought it'd be cute to have my little logo in it. So I grabbed a piece of scrap vinyl that I have, and I'm going to just repurpose this. I just took off the old vinyl, and I'm going to put some new on. I do that often. Often. So cute. Okay, so I have my little logo there, and let's see. I'm gonna do, now I could have also done a white behind it, but I think I'm gonna keep it, I'll keep it hollow. That'll be nice. Okay, I needed a little something for, I have a little remote that controls my studio lights, and also my fun little lotion, any little trinkets that I like to keep nearby. So I thought it would be fun to still have something for my space, but not necessarily have a camera on it this time. Okay, there we go. And, ooh, deep breaths. This one makes me nervous a little bit. It's way down in there. Actually, oh my goodness. I'm gonna line it up with the grids on the mat there. That way I can line this up perfectly. Is that right? Oh, I think that's right. The grids behind really helped there. Okay. And grab my little skinny one. I don't use the Cricut scrapers. I don't really prefer them, but I keep them around in case I'm in a pickle like that, because the size of the mini is really good. Okay, peeling away, and ooh, so cute. I like that. I think that's really fun. So I have my little remote for my lights, and I have my little lotion, and it's all off to the side here. Okay, so final craft will be organizing my craft space as well. I'm going to do a couple little labels. Okay, how's everybody doing? Who's still watching? Oh my goodness. Comment. Okay, let's see. We could have fun here. Comment a heart if you're still watching. That way I will know, tried and true, who stayed till the very end here. Okay, I'm going to reuse that transfer tape that I just had. So, actually, let me wipe these down. Font information will be down below. I've made these for my craft room before. They are amazing little labels. I love them dearly, and they just slip onto little bins and boxes. They're so easy. And I am going to label the last few. I've had the final 6 waiting for labels. And I was kind of waiting to see if that was going to be the definite home for the contents inside before I made it permanent. And they are, so here we go. Okay, I'll link the font down below, though I will say I'm a little brave to do this thin of a font in this size because it was a little delicate to weed. We will see how it transfers. Don't need that much transfer tape. But, you know, when you get your mind wrapped around a certain style or something, then, oops, oh goodness, I gotta slow down. Then you start being brave. But I'm not sure if this was wise. Okay, I'll speed this up so you don't have to watch me struggle. Oh, okay, always keep your weeding tool handy. I think we'll be okay. Okay. I think I probably should have chose something less delicate, but here we are, so close to the finish line, and I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna be patient. Oh, it's cute though. It's cute. Not wise, but cute. Okay, here I go. Praying to my guardian angels that I can stay patient and stay calm. Okay, so that last one, yeah, the font was just way too delicate. I'm gonna try to stick with it, but I think that's something that I need to sit down with my favorite TV show and just slowly get that project done. So who knows, I may have to just redo that with a different, thicker font. I may have been a tad ambitious, but I'll get it done. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this inspired you to take a look around your craft space and look at those items that you have just kind of been setting to the side for way too long and get those on your craft table. Pretty soon we're going to start crafting for fall and winter. I'm really excited because those are just really cozy months that really bring a whole new fresh dose of inspiration. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here and leave me a comment and let me know which was your favorite craft. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.